thing we're going to do is install the crankset. A lot of people will start with the fork, but some of the things we've learned in our research is that it's easier to do the crankset first, so the fork's not in the way. So we're going to complete as much of the drivetrain as we can. First thing we have to do is put the chain ring on. This is fairly straightforward. It's fairly foolproof. We have the bolts, which use the T30 wrench. They're preloaded with the thread locker, the lock type stuff, so nothing to add there. So I'm going to thread these on by hand. We're using a torque wrench for this. The settings for this is 12 to 14 Newton meters. So I picked a number right in the middle and set the wrench for 13. We'll go as far down by hand as we can. Probably a faster way to do this. This seems to be working. Yeah. So we have another crank arm. We were going to go with a 2x. Heard the click. We're going to go with a 2x10 drivetrain, and we ended up going with the 1x11. The 2x10 was a year older. Had the bolts coming in from the outside, and
wait, so does the click mean it's done?
Yep.
Okay.
So with the thread locker, you can probably get away without a torque wrench, but it's nice to have these nice and tight so that it doesn't come loose in the middle of a race or something, or out and far away from home. So we have the chain ring on. So now we're ready to install it into the frame. One thing we did is we put we had the bottom bracket and the headset pressed in by our local bike shop, because those are some specialized and expensive tools that we didn't want to acquire. We have a few of the smaller tools that are needed, but for the most part we're using standard automotive mechanics tools. All right, so we've installed the chain ring onto the crank arm. So next we're going to put the crank onto through the bottom bracket, and what we need for this is the drive side crank arm, the left side, and then we've got the adjusting cap. We're going to need some grease, an adjusting cap tool. This one comes from Park Tool, and then a torque wrench with a 5mm hex screw. All right, so I'm going to swing it around, and Logan's going to take over and start by putting a little bit of grease on the crank arm shaft. Yep. No, around the end. It's fine. There you go.
Does it?
Let's try to get straight. Alright, give it a pop. Don't know. There we go. Just needed a little bit of a pop. Alright, we should have a rubber mallet for this. We don't, so we're going to pop it with the handle, and which is relatively. We just want to make sure it goes up nice and smooth. Alright. There we go. I think it went. Yep, nice. Okay.
Ooh, that comes close.
So now we're going to turn it around and put the left side on. So for the left side, there is a little locking clip here that once we get it installed, we push down on it and it clicks right in place and holds it. All right, Luke's gonna do this. Camera.
There, it clicked.
Okay. All right. So what we do next?
Ooh.
What we do next is put the adjusting cap on.
Right here.
Yep.
Do I just screw it in?
Yep. Thread it in with your fingers and then use the tool to snug it up a little bit.
Does this stay on here? Does this...
Yes, it does.
And then what do I use? The Park Tool?
Yep. And on this, you want to get it tight enough so that there's no slop, but not so tight that you restrict movement. You want it to move nice and easily. Does it feel nice and smooth?
Pretty.
Does it?
But I don't know, like...
There's certainly no back and forth. Let's try tightening it until it gets snug, and then maybe back off a little bit. Did you feel a change?
Yeah, this feels tighter.
Okay, all right, we'll back off just a little. And I'm sure for those of you watching the video, the ones who have more experience may have some ideas for what we're doing wrong, and you can certainly throw in the comments there. Okay, so we need to clip this piece in. There, I just felt it click. And Logan will use the torque wrench to tighten the 2 screws here. So this is also 12 to 14 Newton meters. We set it. We've left it at 13, the same as the chainring. So you want to do that? Yep. And you're going to need to.
Do I need a different bit?
You're going to need to alternate it. So do it.
Am I doing that right?
Yep.
I don't hear it click.
Okay, it's because it's not tight. So let's get it hand tightened.
Okay. Let me do this.
Do the hand tight, and then flip it over and do the other side. There you go. Hand
You
tight.
hold this?
Yep. Okay. Did he suggest we back it off? All right, so let's take it down to what, 4 or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you don't want to do, you want to alternate and keep these even, and you don't want to go all the way down to 13 initially. So we're going to set it for about 4 Newton meters to start with. Okay, so we're going to tighten these down a little at a time. We set it for around what, 3 to 4 Newton meters.
4.
So tighten this one down till you get to that point. Get it in there nice. Snug. It's going back and forth, all right? Okay. Go over here, and we're going to hold it. Come back the other way. There you go. Good. All right. Cool. So we're all set. Cranks installed. Feels nice and smooth. All right. Since we have this in, let's go ahead and snug this up really good. Since you tighten that down.
That's tight.
Okay. So the adjusting cap tool should be tight. All right. Nice. Okay. Thanks. So next we'll be back with the cassette.
I haven't written this part yet. Will you help me write it?